The world-famous footballers seem so untouchable that they give the impression that they can do whatever they want. Yet, some of them had problems with the law, such as Maradona, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Adriano, Neymar, and George. Best to name but a few. Most of them, especially the very big players, managed to get out of it, thanks to the help of their lawyers. Neymar, for example. After the story of the money from his rather dubious transfer to FC Barcelona, or Lionel Messi, accused of tax evasion, but who got out of it, thanks to the Spanish laws in his favor. Some players have even done in time in prison before, during or after their professional football career, after their glory. And there are more of them than you might think. So you have understood that in this video, we are going to see together some of the footballers who have been in prison and why they went to prison. Don't forget to subscribe, enjoy this video, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of the next crazy football videos. Ronaldinho, the Brazilian star who thrilled millions of spectators with his dribbling goals and above all his smile, has been sentenced to several weeks in prison since March 6, 2020 for possessing a false passport with his brother in Paraguay. He is also accused of money laundering. Ronnie was therefore in prison in Paraguay, a prison with much better treatment than a regular prisoner. He even played football with other inmates. But he was released at the end of April to go to a private residence after paying $1.6 million in bail. But his trial is still pending. Joey Barton. His name must ring a bell. It's not for nothing that Joey Barton is considered to be the most violent player in England. This player had quite a few problems on and off the football pitch. In all, he spent 10 months in prison for assault and battery. He hit a man on the way out of McDonald's, assaulted a man in 2008, and even hit his former teammate Dabu during training session. A real fighter. Ruben Semedo. He's probably one of the lesser-known players on that list. The Portuguese defender, who plays for Olympiacos in Greece, was sentenced to 5 months in prison and then released on €30,000. Why did he get out on bail of €30,000? He had kidnapped a man, bitten him, threatened him with death, attempted homicide, and illegally carried weapons. He stayed in prison for 5 months and was released on bail amounting €30,000 and was able to resume his career. This story is quite incredible. George Best, the midfielder, is the first real football starlet. He is undoubtedly one of the most talented players of all time, but also one of the most arrogant and show-off, even if it is very much to his liking. George Best was very fond of women and alcohol. He spent 3 months in jail for drunk driving in 1984 after his great career at Manchester United. Rene Higuita, a whimsical guard from Colombia known for his scorpion shot arrests. Rene Higuita had life, more than lively. This player was known for laundering his money through football. He was also involved in a case of kidnapping and sexual abuse of an underage prostitute. Also a cocaine user, he had been threatened several times with death by a gang. He is probably the biggest football bandito. Troy Deeney. This English striker, adored by Watford fans, also went through the prison cell in 2012. Before he joined the First League, why was he sentenced to 10 months in prison? He just beat up students. That's all. Luckily now, he's playing in the First League and has no major problems with the law. Adam Johnston. He's one of the most heavily sentenced football players. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison in 2016 because of his sexual relationship with a 15-year-old minor for several months. It's a real shame when you consider the potential he had when he played for Manchester City. Souleymane Diawara. The Senegalese player wanted to take justice into his own hands. Souleymane had a dispute with a luxury car salesman who had sold him a stolen car, so he sent his brother and 4 friends to take care of his case. Unfortunately, justice caught up with him. Result? 3 years in prison, one of which was a prison term. Fabio Cannavaro, the captain of the Italian national team and winner of the 2006 World Cup in Golden Ball, was sentenced to 10 months in prison for tax evasion and especially for swimming in his pool while his villa was sealed. Result: 10 months in prison, 6 months for his brother, and 4 months for his wife. It's a bit expensive to swim.